Good afternoon. My name is Boggs. I'm going to be here talking about the speed of crisis. Boo, crisis. I am the owner of LT Public Relations and the former Director of Public Relations at AIG. Double boo. So I'm going to go rip through this quite a bit to talk about the methods before, during, and after a crisis. So there's going to be a lot to cover here pretty quickly, but we've had our fair share, and crises are coming a dime a dozen. I mean, if crisis was a business, we'd be millionaires. This is unbelievable. The case studies we've had in the last year or two have been incredible, but we represent banks and financial institutions, so our business is booming as well. But one of the stats here, in the United States, a crisis happens every 3.7 seconds. Okay, I just made that up. First lesson here, don't believe everything you read. But one important stat here is about from Altimeter. Actually, this is a legitimate stat. It's the majority of companies are ill-prepared for a social media crisis. And about 76% of the crisis could be avoided and diminished. And this is very true as far as what we advocate at our firm is crisis preparation is actually management is 99% preparation, 1% execution. And so we are advocating before this even happens, kind of like insurance, make sure you are prepared. Make sure you bought your insurance, make sure you're ready to go. And it used to be just media was your kind of big issue as far as how to handle it. Now, obviously, with the advent of social media, we have quite a few tools at our disposal to work from. But it gets even more complex with the next slide, is that everyone is a journalist now. So we are monitoring at all times what the communication crisis chatter is, good or bad, but we're always on the lookout as far as what our clients, what they're in, and how do they respond. So as far as how to respond to a crisis, the first thing we say is respond as soon as possible. Even if there's nothing really to say, even say, hey, we heard about it, we know what's going on, respond fast, because otherwise other people are drawing their own conclusions, so respond fast. Monitor the response. There's a whole host of ways of doing so. We use TweetDeck, but there's quite a few other ways to monitor online, but also to Google News, etc. But make sure that you're seeing what the conversation is. Also, when actually the crisis does happen, be honest. This is not a time to lie or to cover up, but to be very honest. As we all know what happens when you lie and you cover up, it manifests itself and gets even larger than the original issue at first. So be sure you're being honest. And then obviously, conversely here is to apologize appropriately. Say you're sorry. America is a very forgiving country. And when you do apologize, people are understandable, but if you do cover it up, it gets even worse. So when a mistake happens, repair it. Tell people you're going to be repairing it. And make sure you have put all your tools into repairing it. And tell people along the way what's actually going on and how the time frame wise is when it's going to happen. But then when a crisis does happen, move on. Once you repair it, move on. There's no need to dwell on it. No need to make sure you can tell everyone how bad their crisis was. Just kind of address it and move forward. So I also want to tell you about how to prepare before this all goes down here, is to how identify a crisis. Now, with social media, they come in all different forms, as we've seen. I can't script this stuff right now, how many different crises are happening, but how to identify is very important. So first thing you need to do is to build an internal guidelines and procedures as far as when this actually goes down. What do you do? Who internally is going to be communicating? How do you put your team into place, and who's going to be doing the communicating, who's going to be doing the tweeting, and how to manage a crisis as it comes up, as far as when it goes down. Who is the crisis team, if you will? Who's going to be discussing how to respond to the media, the social media, to the clients, to the customers, and really how to communicate during a crisis. The victims, the staff, prioritize here, the media, the key stakeholders. Make sure that it's kind of sequential as far as who you're going to discuss. It's not always media. Make sure you understand your audience. And have your spokesperson ready and prepared and media trained. This is very key. When it happens, most people don't know what to do. They're fumbling over themselves as far as how to communicate. So are you prepared? Is your company prepared? Big or small? Are you prepared? It's like insurance. Are you going to be driving your car without insurance? No. Are you going to be running your business without insurance? Absolutely not. So you must be prepared. So thank you very much.